Now and new at 6. The Mr. Wright Contest is coming up this Friday evening. We'll have full coverage. Plus, a man accused of robbing Barney's Harvest Foods in Pinehurst, where he's at tonight. But first, a high-speed pursuit that made a school go on lockdown. I'm John Webb, and Channel 3 News at 6 begins right now.
You're watching Channel 3 News at 6 with news anchor John Webb, Chief Meteorologist Destiny Engel with her exclusive weather update, plus reporters Megan Dorton, Amberly Phillips, and Kinley Fry. This is Channel 3 News at 6.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm John Webb. We begin tonight with the special election that took place on Wednesday the 13th, and the Wallace School District was up for a $1.85 million levy. It did pass with 319 yeses and 186 noes. 58.3% of you voters did approve the levy. We'll take a look at this. Idaho State Police pulled over a car near Kellogg on the 14th and found 80 pounds of marijuana in the trunk of a car. 38-year-old Corey Ramey is being charged with trafficking marijuana. We also kick off tonight's broadcast with a high-speed pursuit that lasted for nearly an hour. The pursuit began near Cataldo when ISP dispatch received a call from a female who had been abducted along with 2 juveniles.
Units control domestic situation, eastbound I-90 at 6. Report of a husband kidnapping the RP and children in a green minivan, possibly an Uber logo on back. Have the female on landline. You confirm she's in the vehicle with him? Affirm. She's reporting he's kidnapped her and the children. We're trying to find out how many children. It sounds like there's at least 2 kids.
Troopers attempted to stop the vehicle that was traveling east on I-90 near milepost 40, but the vehicle kept traveling at high speeds. According to the Shoshone County Sheriff's Office, the van reached speeds as high as 100 miles per hour. Shoshone deputies were called into the pursuit and set up spike strips at milepost 54 near Big Creek, and another strip was set up by the Osborne Police Department further east. The vehicle continued to travel at high speeds with 3 tires blown out. As the chase made its way past Wallace, the Mullen School District was notified to go on lockdown. According to the Mullen High School principal, Don Kochevar, the school went on to lockdown at about 12:20 and was lifted 3 minutes later. By this time, the car had crashed into a snowbank at milepost 70 just east of Mullen. 28-year-old Rodney Bradley was going to drive the car off of a cliff with his 2 kids and wife. ISP says that Bradley was arrested on charges of kidnapping and eluding police officers. His first court appearance was on March 13th. His bond is set at $250,000 and his preliminary hearing is on March 22nd. Barney's in Pinehurst filed a complaint accusing 28-year-old Jamie Rowe of burglary. On the 10th, Shoshone deputies took Rowe into custody on 1 count of burglary and willful concealment, which carries a maximum of 10 years in prison and a $1,000 fine. On the 12th, Rowe made his first court appearance where the Shoshone Prosecutor's Office requested a substantial bond to be set. Rowe was later released by the magistrate judge with conditions including that Rowe have no contact with Barney's in Pinehurst. The Shoshone County Prosecutor's Office said, quote, Rowe is considered innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in a court of law. He has a preliminary hearing on March the 29th. The Mr. Wright Contest is coming up soon, and our Kinley Fry has details on the program. Kinley, good evening.
Thanks, John. The Wallace Junior Senior High Senior Girls are putting on a Mr. Wright Contest for the senior boys. This will take place in the Wallace High School Commons on Friday, March 16th at 6 p.m.
Mr. Wright is basically a talent show for the senior boys. It's usually put on by the senior girls, but we're having help from one of the senior parents, Raylan Howell, to put this on. And the main thing of this is they're going to do their introduction, their personal talent, a talent together, and then a questionnaire quiz bowl at the end. And then they're also going to be doing Mr. Legs, so they'll be awarded for like 4 different things. And the judges will determine who's the winner of each.
When and where is this going to take place?
This is going to take place at the Commons in the Wallace High School, and it is going to be on March 16th at...
There will be a total of 9 senior boys in the contest, but with their escorts, there will be a total of 18 people. The senior class is hoping for a good turnout from the community and also from the students. Once again, the Mr. Wright Contest will be Friday at 6 p.m. and our John Webb will be hosting. Reporting in the Channel 3 studio, I'm Kinley Fry.
Thanks, Kin. Following up on a story that we brought you about 4 months ago, you may remember back on the 26th of October when 36-year-old Jennifer Wool was arrested after she attempted to rob a house on Sunset Drive in Pinehurst. The 39-year-old homeowner found Wool in his backyard with items that he recognized as his property. The male held Wool at gunpoint until Shoshone County deputies arrived on scene. Wool was later arrested and held at the Shoshone County Jail. On Tuesday the 6th, Wool was sentenced to 5 years in prison after hearing the homeowner's plea for justice. Deputy Prosecutor Benjamin Allen said, quote, "While these two charges are serious in and of themselves, the most alarming part of this case is that the residential burglary committed by this defendant occurred with a home invasion involving the attempted theft of numerous items, including 2 loaded firearms, occurred during early morning hours, and involved a residence that had 2 small children inside at the time of the burglary." According to a press release, Wool made a plea for leniency to the court, and her attorney requested credit for time served and supervised probation, but the court sentenced Wool to 5 years of unified prison in order to, quote, "ensure that the community was protected." The Wallace High Art Club traveled down to Moscow earlier this month to observe the U of I Art Department. Our Amberly Phillips is reporting in the studio. Amber, good evening.
Good evening, John. On Monday, March 5th, an assortment of Wallace High School students participated in a field trip to the University of Idaho's campus in Moscow. The students were led by Mrs. Lund, Wallace's art instructor, to tour some of the facilities associated with the U of I Art Department. But the main reason they were there was to view the art exhibit for the recent contest held by U of I. The contest prompt was Radical Empathy, and high schoolers statewide participated in the event. Wallace High School's very own Maggie Howard won an honorable mention award for the piece she submitted to the contest. Let's see what she has to say about this.
I feel really honored to get the award because I worked really hard on it, and I thought it was probably one of the best pieces that I did. So I just feel really honored to get the award.
We also got a chance to speak with Callie Davis, who was present at the field trip.
Yeah, there was a lot of amazing pieces of artwork that I was really impressed by, and amazing that high school students have such great artistic abilities, so it was really interesting. And there was a lot of different ways of expressing empathy, which I found kind of interesting.
I received many good reviews from the students who participated. Mrs. Lund indicated that she does plan to attend similar events with students in the coming years.
Brought students down to Moscow, and we spent most of our time looking at the high school art exhibit, and that gave the students an opportunity to see how their artwork stacked up, and just see the range of abilities of students across the state, and then also just get students on the campus and become familiar with the art facilities and maybe take an art class when they are in high school or in college.
Everyone here is very proud of Maggie and her accomplishments. Reporting in the Channel 3 newsroom, I'm Amberly Phillips.
Thank you, Amberly. On Friday at around 9 p.m., Idaho State Police requested assistance from the Shoshone County Sheriff's Office in a vehicle pursuit. The stolen vehicle from Oregon was traveling eastbound from milepost 17 on I-90. 2 Shoshone County deputies joined the pursuit while Lieutenant Jason Woody set up spike strips at milepost 44. Once the vehicle reached the strips, the pursuit later came to a halt at milepost 45. According to the Sheriff's Office, I-90 was briefly shut down for 15 minutes. 30-year-olds George Marlowe and Tara Clem were both booked into the Shoshone County Jail on charges of eluding, possession of stolen property, and drug-related charges. Our Destiny Engel is over in the Channel 3 Weather Center with more on her 7-day update. Destiny.
Thanks, John. As you can see, rain's supposed to be coming this week and temperatures are supposed to be rising. Now, taking a look at your 7-day forecast, on Saturday you can see highs in the upper 40s, lower 40 area, and lows in the lower 30s. Now, taking a look at Saturday, you're supposed to see partly sunny with highs in the upper 30s, lower 40s. And throughout the rest of the week, expect to see highs in the upper 40s and lower 50s. John?
Hey, Destiny, thanks for that. Idaho potatoes were valued at $1.19 billion last year, setting a record for the crop's production value. The Capital Press reports the 2017 production value was 23% higher than the prior year and 14% higher than the previous record value of $1.04 billion set back in 2011. According to the Department of Agriculture, Idaho potato farmers harvested 309,000 acres last year, decreasing by 5% from the 324,000 acres harvested in 2016. Aberdeen potato grower Richie Tove says farmers increased the production value by reducing the supply slightly. Washington State had the second highest potato production, with its 2017 crop valued at $888 million, a 9% increase from the prior year. According to the USDA, U.S. potato production is increased by about 15% to $4.5 billion last year. Well, finally tonight, the good news. March 1st was our one-year anniversary here at Channel 3 News, and we're going to go ahead and take you back to February 17th when we first came on the air. Straight ahead on Channel 3 News at 6, an avalanche left one snowmobiler in the hospital, plus a car donated to Wallace Junior Senior High School, we'll tell you who, and a sweet surprise that left many girls touched this past Valentine's Day. Channel 3 News starts now. Good evening, thanks for joining us tonight. I'm John Webb. Our top story tonight, crews have rescued an Idaho snowmobiler who was buried in the avalanche in the western Idaho town of McCall. Well, Jeremiah Evans is over in the Weather Center with your 7-day forecast. Jeremiah?
Thanks, John. Taking a look at Doppler radar, we can tell it to be a cloud cover and a low storm approaching from the northwest. Now taking a look at the U.S. temperature map, in the northwest, expect to feel around the 40s, but in the south it's around 60, 65 degrees. In the northeast, it's about the high of the 40s.
Thanks, John. Post Falls police are asking for the public's help to find a 17-year-old girl. The department said Samantha Arnold, 17, likely ran away with an adult male in a red Ford Focus. Reporting in the news center, Destiny Engel, Channel 3.
Well, that's going to do it for us here at Channel 3 News. I'm John Webb, and for all of us here at Channel 3, good night. I'd say we do a little bit better now. That's the 6 o'clock news for tonight. I'm John Webb, and for all of us here at Channel 3 News, have a great evening.